All right, everybody. We had to do it. It's an instant reaction. Somebody had to wear it. Look, it's an old, I don't even know if you can see the number on it. It's a receiver that hasn't been on the Bengals for forever. Had to put the hat on, had to do it all because we are doing our Bengals breakfast. It's the instant reaction to the trade that happened late last night and what the ramifications are for both the Giants, the Bengals, and to be honest, for the entire draft that's going to happen this Thursday. Speaking of draft, Cheese, tell us about our draft special that we're going to do tonight. Talk to us about that, buddy.
So at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, that's also 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time. We are going to pick, we do first round mock. We're going to pick for every team. There are 4 of us. We're going to pick for 2 divisions each. 2 divisions each. I can't even talk in the morning.
Don't know about it.
Yeah. I just haven't had my coffee yet. I have the cup ready, but it's really
Oh,
hot. And
gotcha.
the thing is, it says coffee. That's how you know. There you go. But we're going to pick for 2 divisions each. Mike's going to host it, and there'll be 4 of us. It's a lot of fun. Well, 5 minutes per pick, and yeah, make sure you come out for that. And yeah, we love comments too. In the comments, make sure that you tell us who you want us to pick. Maybe I can be influenced. You never know, because sometimes I'm between 2 or 3 people.
And I tell you what, guys, Cheese is really, really sad. It looks like Cheese is going to lose the Bengals pick. That's the whole reason he wanted that division. He's probably
The
had
whole reason.
something special to make fun about with me when he makes the pick. But now I don't think we're ever going to know now, and it's all the Bengals' fault. But I tell you what, Cheese, before we get into it real heavy, we're a couple of really cool hip dudes, so let's give us some
Yes.
guitar in the background. How about that?
Yes. We are cool.
All right, everybody, this is it. It is the Lights Out Sports Podcast, Bengals Breakfast. As we go through this trade that just happened just a few hours ago, actually. Some of us were awake all night. Not all of us. You can't have that good of hair and ever sleep, too many hours in a day. So, yes. All right, buddy. So we're going to look at it from the Browns' point of view. We're going to look at it from the Bengals' point of view. I tell you what. Let's start with a little bit of the. I don't know why I said Browns, but let's start a little bit with the Giants' point of view.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
The Bengals aren't, the best run organization, but they're a lot better run than the Browns.
I was going to say, if you say the Bengals are run better than the Browns, I guess you're not saying a whole lot, right? Oh, man. Okay. So Dexter Lawrence was not happy with the Giants.
Mhm.
So what do you think? Was it because of the lack of guaranteed money in his contract? And we'll go over his contract in detail here in just a few moments. Was it, secondly, the fact that the team has not been very good? Or third, the fact that the Giants are in a rebuild, and when they do get good, he's going to be past his prime?
I think the first one is the most important, but I do think 2 and 3 are part of it. I think it wasn't just his elbow injury why he didn't have as good a year. I think it just seemed like to me maybe he was going through motions. They weren't very good. They were bad from the get-go. They were pretty much out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe he just was, like my elbow's hurting, like why am I doing this? Putting my body out here. I could be wrong, but I think it's about money. So when he signed that extension, he's seen a lot of defensive tackles get paid more than him, players that he's better than. So I think he went to the Giants and said, I want to redo my contract. They're like, no, or they just could not come close to an agreement. So then he's like, trade me. And but I do think it's part of it. They're not going to be very good this year. They could surprise, but if they're not going to be the Patriots of next year, they're just not. They have way too many holes. And he probably wanted to go to a team. He's 28 years old, not getting any younger, that can at least compete. So I think that's part of it as well.
All right, so you hit on the contract part. Um, I usually don't like to do this kind of stuff because I'm not sure how much of our audience is going to understand everything. But today, Cheese, we're going to say that we have a super intelligent audience, and we're really going to break down this contract because I want to get your opinion on some of these things and how football contracts are broken down.
So usually
So
we don't have a smart audience, is what you're saying.
Jeez, I know it's breakfast, but calm down. Okay. All right, buddy. $46.5 million guaranteed at signing. So he got his signing bonus
Mhm.
plus his 2023 salary, his 2024 salary, and he got another basically 6.25 million of his 2025 salary all up front.
Mhm.
So then he got the remainder of the 9.25 million of the 2025 salary that was fully guaranteed to him on the fifth day of 2025 league year. So that means he's already been paid that.
Mhm.
So now all he has to do is get the 3.25 of the 2026 salary that's guaranteed for injury only.
Mhm.
So let me explain that line. If he gets injured this year, the only thing that he is guaranteed is 3.25 million. So the annual per game bonus, that's $58,823. He's got a 2027 roster bonus, 2.5 million on the fifth day of the league year, and he's got $3 million of other incentives that this is from sporttrack.com, by the way. So they weren't 100% sure of what those were. So they just basically said to be determined in the parentheses. 2023, 2024, 2025 are all done. So now the Bengals are on the hook here in his year 29 of 18 and a half. And then an active roster bonus of a million, a workout bonus of 500,000. So it totals the 20 million. That's only 6.64%, by the way, of their total cap. And then his salary actually goes down a little bit in 2027. The base is 15,500,000. Then he gets a $2,500 roster bonus, a million on the active roster. If he's still on the active roster, he'll get a $500,000 workout, and that'll take it to $19,500. But I think one of the things that he was upset with, Cheese, none of that money's guaranteed to him.
Yeah, there are two things that players want. They want a lot of guaranteed money, and they want to be the highest paid or one of the highest paid, the AAV, average annual value. Those are the two things. So they want a lot of it guaranteed, but they also, I think he wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle. So he wants at least 32 million a year. My guess is more than that. I'm thinking that maybe he went Giants pay me 35 million because Chris Jones makes a little under 32. He's the highest paid defensive tackle. So
Okay.
he probably went and said, give me 33, 34, maybe even 35 million. The Giants probably offered something like 28, 29. That's just a guess. I don't know for sure. And he's like, no, I want to be the highest paid because they reached an impasse. So they weren't close. When you reach an impasse, they're not close. That's when he asked for the trade. So yeah, guaranteed money. And he also wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the game.
Yeah, and Rick, I'm not balking at your quote right here whatsoever, right? And I wouldn't mind getting 3.25 million for a year. So yeah, I completely understand. You're like, really? You're going over all these numbers, and I'm not trying to say that it's a bad contract. I just want everybody to know what the contract is. All right. So yeah, that's his contract breakdown. Um, we're going to talk more about this here in a second because the Bengals are supposedly going to give Dexter a contract extension, as you've kind of alluded to, Cheese. So
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you this, buddy. How many years does this contract need to be to justify trading the 10th pick in the draft?
It depends. He's like you said, he's under contract for 2 more years.
Well,
It's probably going to be more of a 1 or 2 year extension, but a raise each year. Like it's probably going to more redo the contract than extend him. Uh, that's what I think. We'll see what happens. You don't make the trade unless you're going to extend him. You're going to keep him happy. Like so, you have to give him a new contract. Otherwise, he just come in and they might reach an impasse again. And we know the Bengals have had issues with people in the past with the contracts. So they
okay, don't
obviously,
don't rub it in too much, sir.
well, if you don't make this trade unless you've talked to his agent and you're at least close to what the terms are,
Okay.
So, but
So are you
I
allowed to
think
do that? I mean, that's not a tampering thing. You're allowed to
if
do that before the trade?
if the Giants give you permission, but usually
Okay.
they do. If you're talking trade, you're deep in talks.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, can we talk to the agent? Can we make sure? So that happens all the time. You got to make sure. You don't want to make a trade for someone, then they hold out in camp and they like, I thought I'd get paid, and that could be a mess. So Obviously, probably before the draft is my guess. They'll have an extension. They have the, maybe not worked out, but they have the, a lot of it. They're pretty close on a lot of it.
Okay, understood. There's a lot to uncover here. There's as part of my family used to say, there's a lot of layers to this onion, right? And another one of those layers, as far as this contract goes. So you said possibly redo the whole thing. So just throw away the last 2 years, and you think maybe they're just going to redo the whole thing and give him like a 4 or 5 year contract?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll give him an extension, but it might they could change the, the language, the parameters, all of that. Sometimes they do that, like that. So especially, they might want to, not have a big salary cap hit this year or next year. Maybe they can even lower the salary cap hit next year and push it into future years. So there's a lot of things you can do. I have tried to learn as much about the cap as possible. I think I have a B knowledge maybe of the salary cap. Okay. Before I got started, I thought I knew a lot about it. I was probably a D plus before I got into this, became a content creator. It is so complicated. There's so much more that I have a B level, and I stopped. I was like, it's really confusing, but there's a lot of things you can do now. You can do void years, push it into future. So getting a contract extension done, they're in good shape salary cap wise. The Bengals, it will not be an issue whatsoever.
All right, so he signed a 4-year, $87 million contract back in 2023. Another 4-year, $87 million contract, Cheese?
Oh, no. You have to pay him like 33, 34, 35 million a year. It's going to be, it's going to be something like that. That's about a little under 22 million a year. He wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the game. And he's such a unique player. There's just no one else really like him. So I would expect him to get at least 33 million, maybe even 35 million per year.
Okay, so if that's what he's going to get, let me give you some stats here, and let's prove that he should or he shouldn't. Okay. So these are all from Warren Sharp, so I have to give him credit for all these stats here. So he's been double teamed more than any other defensive tackle since 2024, and his 2024 double team rate was the highest at that position since 2018. So, underscoring the attention that he commands from offenses as well, right? His 108 pressures since 2022 leads that position, and it is significantly higher. It's not like it's a little bit, it's significantly higher than the nose tackle with the second most, which is Vita Vea. I think that's how you say his name, right? Vita Vea?
Vita Vea. It's Vea.
Oh, Vita Vea. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty close. That's closer than you usually get.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. But so Lawrence has 108 pressures, and Vita Vea has 32. So they're not even close, 1-2. You said in the immediate reaction video that you did late last night that Lawrence was the best nose tackle in football. Do you still stand by that statement?
There's no nose tackle that can rush the passer like him, not even close. And he's a good run defender. There's just they don't double team him because he's such a good player. Let's make sure we double team. They double team him because they have to. Because if you don't double team him, he's going to be in the backfield every play. He's that talented. He's that good. 330 pounds, 340 pounds, whatever he is, to get all those pressures is insane. I don't think I've seen a player like that in a while. It's like a nose tackle that can rush the passer like that. Definitely in the last 20 years. I cannot think of any nose tackle that had that kind of impact. He is such a unique talent. There are nose tackles that maybe a little better run defender, but there's no one even close to rushing the passer like Dexter Lawrence. So yeah, absolutely. Even with the elbow injury, he still got pressures last year. He didn't get as many sacks. His run defense dropped off a little, but he still got a lot of pressures. Just imagine if he's healthy.
Right. Now, so would you say he affects a game like Aaron Donald used to affect a game?
Maybe not exactly. They're very different. Aaron Donald was like 6'1", 280. He used his quickness. Dexter Lawrence just runs through you. So they're different. But since Aaron Donald retired, he's probably the right up there with Chris Jones as one of the most impactful defensive tackles. I wonder if that double team stat was Aaron Donald 2018, or maybe it was JJ Watt. Probably one of those two. But
I
anyway,
would say you're right. Yeah.
probably one of those two. Yeah.
So, how many more years do you think he can perform at this high level? And this answer is going to interest me because, as a Bengals fan, like if you're going to tell me 4 years, I don't want them signing him to a 6-year contract extension. So what do you think here? And then we'll kind of circle the wagons and put everything together here in a couple minutes.
If they sign to a 6-year extension, the last 2 years are going to be like really high just for the cap reasons. He won't play on that anyway. So even that's the thing with NFL contracts. It's not like baseball. If you sign someone to a 5-year deal, they might only play 3 years on the team. You can get out of it. Most salary cap guys will put something a couple years in line. You can get out of the contract. So
Okay.
I don't think it'll sign a 6-year deal, but if he, assuming he bounces back, the Bengals would not have done this if they didn't think they were getting more the 2024 version. They,
Well,
you know,
they got Tajana Carter and they got David Klingler, and don't make me go through the list.
no, but I'm just saying, like had a down year, but it was an elbow injury. They think that he's going to be closer to the guy that was 2 years ago, and if he gets that, if he returns to that level, I don't see why he can't still be playing at a high level, 32, 33 years old, and even if he drops off a little bit from that 2024 season, and it's just not quite as good on run defense or pressure, he's still one of the best defensive tackles in the game. So I think that's what the Bengals are
sacks
thinking.
2 years ago. 17 sacks 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's so impactful. And like you said, you have to double team him. Not because you want to, because you have to. And make everyone else around him better that's trying to rush the passer.
So, Cheese, you're currently grading different players that are out there in the NFL draft. You do a great job of it over on your channel. And what's the name of the channel again?
It's at Football with Cheese, CHEEZ. Go on there, doing a lot of draft content. After this, maybe a little hour after this, I'm going to release all my offensive player positional rankings. So every offensive position, release the rankings. I kept it under 30 minutes. So yeah. So make sure you check that out. And I should release defense tomorrow and my top 100 on Tuesday.
All right, so there's the layup for you. All right. Anyway, so you are you're doing this. You're going through and you're looking at different players and how they would project in the draft as far as what you're just talking about, putting them in their places and everything else. So use those same parameters. Tell us kind of how you would do his position, the nose tackle position, and then give Dexter a grade so that we would know what we're getting here as Bengals fans.
What do you mean, like a grade? I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, tell me. Okay, so when you're doing your draft, people now, right? You're like, okay, well, you use things like he can set a good anchor, and you talk about bend and all these kinds of things. So this is talk that I don't necessarily understand all the way because I'm not near the draft analyst that you are. But in layman's terms, tell me, what are we getting in Dexter Lawrence as a Bengals?
His strength, the fact that he can get low as well. You'll hear this a lot with draft. He plays too high. You'll hear that with Caleb Banks when he's drafted because he plays way too high. He's 6'6". He's tall. I think Dexter Lawrence is 6'4", 340, something like that. But he can get low. He can bend his knees. He is just so powerful. He is so athletic and powerful for his size. So he will run through you. He does not he's not like Chris Jones. He tries a swim move. He tries a counter move, get around you. He doesn't win with quickness like Aaron Donald. He runs through you. Okay. And he's very good at splitting double teams, and he wins with power.
All right, got it. I like
big, strong hands too. He has big, strong hands too, that he's able to get the lineman off of him. That's important too. If you can get off blocks, that's very important. You hear that a lot in the draft time. If someone's good at getting off blocks, that's what you want.
All right, so you're praising him pretty high. So then I'm just going to ask you, was last year's down season kind of overblown by everybody involved here?
I think so. The stats look way worse. And I think his run defense suffered more than pass rush, even though it only had a half sack. Just seemed like the elbow affected him, his strength in the run game more. He still was getting pressures. He just wasn't getting as many sacks. He didn't get as many pressures. No doubt about it. It wasn't as good. But I still saw some games where he got pressures, and I still remember this game. The Giants, was it 2021, 2022? They actually were a wild card team and played at Minnesota in the playoffs and won a playoff game at Minnesota. And because they did that, they gave Daniel Jones this extension. Like, oh, we have to keep him. He took us to the playoffs. It was one of the worst extensions in recent memory. But the reason they won that game was because Dexter Lawrence. Minnesota could not block it. Minnesota should not have lost that game. The Giants were not as good as the Vikings, but they could not block Dexter Lawrence. I will never forget that game because I've never seen a defensive tackle take over a playoff game like that in my life until, well, maybe the Super Bowl Aaron Donald against the Bengals, but
Yeah.
he was so good. And if Minnesota they double team, they triple team, it didn't matter. And that's the kind of impact he can have.
All right, so let's do another layer of the onion here for a moment, Cheese. So the Bengals have not given up a top 10 draft pick for a player since the current draft format was done back in 1966.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple questions on this. What does this signal for the Bengals moving forward?
Well, I think it's more about this draft than anything else. A top 10 pick in the draft can be so valuable. I mean, 2 years ago, Brock Bowers went 13th. He would go fourth at worst in this draft, in my opinion. At worst, maybe second. So it just says that this is a weak draft. And let's go ahead and do it. I gotta talk about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Daniel Jeremiah had a tweet. Did you see it?
I did not.
It's very telling. Now, we've talked about how the media sometimes will lie and say things because the agent wants them to, but I don't think Daniel Jeremiah does this. Here, remember the two unnamed NFC scouts told me this. Adam Schefter and Ian Rapport. They'd lie, they make stuff up. The agent tells them, and they say two unnamed scouts. Mm-hmm. Well, Daniel Jeremiah is not like that. I've never seen him do, but here's what he tweeted. I was on the phone with a GM less than an hour ago, running through top 10 scenarios. The way we had it going, we both said the Bengals are screwed. Okay? Well, not anymore. This trade makes a ton of sense for them. Here's my theory. Let's say I'm the Bengals, right? Okay. I'm the Bengals. I'm going to disappoint you, Mike. No. Fernando Mendoza's going 1, right? When you do a draft, when you pick 10, you write down 10 names, and you have to be comfortable with those 10. And if you're not, you need to move up or down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they wanted to move up. I think the asking price was really high. And it's telling that the Cowboys and Chiefs really want to move up. That tells you then the team picking 9th wants to move up to 3 or 4. That tells me the Chiefs don't think they can get a good player at 9. But here's what I would do if I'm the Bengals. See, this is my list, non-Mendoza. I have 6 guys that I want. Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. That's 6 players.
Okay.
By this point, less than a week to go in the draft, you pretty much should have an idea who people are targeting. And the Bengals looked at this and said, we're not getting one of these guys. We don't need a receiver. Maybe one receiver go in the top 9. That's not helping us. Offensive line, it's not a great class. Those people mocking offensive linemen, the Cardinals. I call them idiots on my channel. That's obviously not going to happen. And they're looking at this like the player we pick at 10, we might like just as much as some guy going 26.
Right.
So if we're ever going to do this, this is the draft to do it. Because the rumor is the Giants really like Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs for 5. And if one of those is gone, the other's probably going before 10. And I think the Chiefs want to move up for an edge rusher. They don't think one's going to fall to 9. And I remember in 2022, the Eagles did something similar. Okay. And they really needed a wide receiver. They had the 18th overall pick. And they looked at the receiving class and we're not getting a receiver at 18, close to as good as A.J. Brown. So we're going to give the Titans the 18th overall pick and pick 101. And we're going to trade for A.J. Brown. They don't win the Super Bowl without A.J. Brown. I know it's going bad. They're probably going to trade him, but that's not the point. That was a great move because the Titans drafted Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas. He's not even on the team anymore. He's on Washington. He was a total bust. And he was right. If you look at that draft, no receiver taken from then on was nearly as good as AJ Brown. So sometimes, obviously, draft capital is important. You want to build through the draft. It's cheaper. You don't have to give an extension. But I think that's what the Bengals saw. We are not getting an impact player at the position we want. So why not go out? This is unique that a player like this, just like the Packers last year, it's unique that a player like this is available to trade. Michael Parsons is available. Dexter Lawrence is available. Let's go and get him.
Okay. So you're saying that this draft is not great.
Oh, God.
So,
it's terrible at the top.
yeah.
I really think there's like 6 or 7 guys that are top 20 talents. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, your whole point behind it is if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it.
Yeah. The 10th pick, once again, they're not taking Jordan Tyson. They're not taking Cornell Tate. They're not taking Mekhi Lemon. They might be stuck with, I told you before we got on live, like when I was picking for the Bengals before they made this trade, I was probably going to take Kenyon Sadiq because he's the best player available. Tight end's not a need, but he's the best player on the board. Yeah, they're not going to take a guard. The Bengals do not take guards this high, so they're not taking Ioane. So, they're in a situation, and I'm sure they talk to teams picking 16, 17, 18. Hey, you're thinking about moving up? They're like, nope, we're good. So they can't move down. A lot of people say, oh, why don't you just trade up or trade down? It's not that easy. You have to find a partner and agree to terms. Yeah. I'm a Packer fan. I've read stories about the Packers, some of the bad picks they made, and like this guy Andrew Brandt used to work for the Packers. He was their salary cap guy. He said no one's calling. There are 31 other teams, and the phone doesn't ring once while we're on the clock. So,
yeah, it's pretty telling, right? It's pretty telling. So I'm going to give you this scenario because I want to combine a person from each level here. Again, we're gonna peel back this onion a little bit more, right? So, if you consider both their age and the contract that they're going to have in this upcoming season, which one of these 3 would you rather have if you're a Cincinnati Bengal?
Okay.
Trey Hendrickson, Dexter Lawrence, Caleb Banks.
Not Caleb Banks.
So he's not very high on your draft. By the way, for those of you who may not know, Caleb Banks from Florida. A lot of people have him going in the first round. Do you have him going in the first round?
Absolutely not.
Interesting. Okay.
There are 2 big issues with him. I'll quickly go over. His foot is always hurt. He played like 2 games. He's always hurt. Then in the Senior Bowl, has a good week, well, up and down week, and then hurts himself in the game. The dude is always hurt. So there's a lot of teams that are just going to medically red flag him. And his highlight reel is amazing. Okay. He's 6'6", like 325. He's so gifted. He's got great hands. But his low is low. There are games where he plays way too high and real experienced offensive linemen just destroy him. Like he gets just pushed off the line easily because he plays too high. He loses all his leverage. So he is just a boomer bust prospect. I do not take those guys very high. Second round, I don't want to take a guy like that because second round, you're getting your starters, guys you can plug and play. I don't want to you get your corners, your off-ball linebackers, your wide receivers, your running backs. That's the safeties. That's the kind of positions I want to take around 2. If he falls to round 2, that's telling. So I'm not very high on Caleb Banks. He's a total boomer bust. So now that I said that, the Packers will, of course, draft him.
Of course. And, I wish I could reach over and pat you on the back there or something, but I can't. But, William did, saying you did a really, and you did a really good job on that video last night. I watched it a couple times. So
that was my instant reaction. This is why I wanted to go live here, is because that's just the instant reaction. And now I've had to think about it. We can go even deeper.
Right. Yeah. I know we spent some time on these notes and stuff the last, probably 15 hours or so.
To answer your question, it's a tough one because Trey Hendrickson is 32. Dexter Lawrence is 28. But with Trey Hendrickson, you still have the 10th pick. So that's tricky. That's not an easy answer. A lot of people would just say, Dexter Lawrence. But then you'd still have the 10th pick. So I'm going to say Dexter Lawrence because they did sign Bowie Mafe. Maybe Shamar Stewart gets stronger, takes the next step. Shamar Stewart has so much talent.
BJ Hill, right?
They got BJ Hill.
He was teammates with Dexter Lawrence.
They just need to cut Darnell Slayton. They just cut him. Just he sucks. Just because Who you have? What's his name? I'm gonna look up McKinley Jackson too.
Hmm.
Who they drafted. Um, you have Chris Jenkins.
Yes.
So they're deep there. They're
Okay.
very deep. So
So
yeah, I
yeah,
would just cut TJ
you're gonna
Slater.
lead me into a question that it's not in the notes, but I'm gonna
Okay,
hit you with this one and see what you think.
go ahead.
Does this mean because of what they've got and that they're deep and they can rotate more, doesn't that usually mean that teams like this will lean to a 3-4? Are the Bengals going to change to a 3-4, you think?
I don't think they're going to change this game just like in the middle of April. No, but we might see more looks. There's a lot they can do. You have to game plan around double team Dexter Lawrence. So there's so many things you can do on defense now that you have him on the team. And Shamar Stewart and Bowie Mafe and Miles Murphy and guys like that, they're going BJ Hill. They're going to have so many one-on-one matchups. They're not going to get double teamed.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. You have to double team Dexter Lawrence. If you double team two people, like you don't have enough people to block. Like so, it's just gonna. And they can disguise blitz. They can show blitz and then move out. That's what you want to do. Someone like Micah Parsons, like Dexter Lawrence, you have double team. You can show blitz, and then the center and the quarterback are pointing. Okay, someone picked this guy up, and you drop in coverage. Well, someone's assigned to that guy blitzing, and then you have to adjust. Okay, now I don't block him. Do I have to? Who do I block now? So there's so many things you can do. It just completely changes the defense overnight, just like Michael Parsons did.
All right, interesting. I want to give you another layer to this, and this is, I really got to thinking about this, because I know most of you guys slept all night long. I did not, so no. And then I got to sleep for a few hours, and then I'm going to get back up, and we're going to do the big show tonight. So
yes,
if I look a little groggy, there's a reason for it. But anyway.
Oh, I thought that was just your normal look.
Well, cheese. You're going to get yourself kicked off the show tonight. No, I'm just kidding. So can't do that, man. We can't have a draft show without cheese. That would be awful. So I want to look at the possibility of the Bengals trading back in to the first round.
Okay.
So I want to take it a step at a time here. This is going to be the fun one to kind of set everything up. I can't wait to get this because I know you're going to do a lot of these guys. You're going to do your offensive rankings today and then the defensive tomorrow, the next day, right?
The offense, I recorded the offense yesterday. I'm going to release it today. I'm going to try to do the defense this afternoon. I should have time. And release it tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a few guys on the defensive side of the ball. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them actually.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about those 5 people. Can the Bengals trade back in? Will they be there at pick 41? We'll get to all of them. But let me give you the 5 guys first. So Lee Hunter, Texas Tech. I want you to give me these guys in order, the order from best to worst. Okay. Lee Hunter, Texas Tech, all defensive linemen, by the way. Christian Miller at Georgia. Peter Woods from Clemson. I know you don't really like Caleb Banks, but I'm going to throw him in there. And then the Ohio State guy, Caden McDonald. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's number 1?
So you're going to have to watch my defensive ranking video to get that.
Oh, come on.
I have finalized everything but defensive line. Like I'm still working on that. That's why I'm a little late with these videos. You'll see. I definitely do not have. I'll say this. Yeah, Caleb Banks is boomer bust. Peter Woods, his film was awful this year. He's got dinosaur arms. K. McDonald, workout was disappointing, but he's up there. Okay. Christian Miller, I haven't seen a workout on him at all. Lee Hunter had a disappointing workout, and there's a rumor that he's like crazy, like character issues that he might be crazy. But he has the best film of all those guys. So it's tough. That like I saw this question, I'm like, I don't even know yet. I don't even have it finalized because it's really tough. I think Christian Miller is probably the safest of them, but not necessarily the best.
So then, how many of these players do you think will actually be there at 41 when the Bengals? The
Bengals aren't taking any of these guys. They're not looking at any of these guys. They just got Dexter Lawrence, so they're not looking at any of these guys. I'll give you some names.
Wait. If you're going to go defense, and we all know the Bengals need defensive help, isn't this what you want to do? Is get another defensive lineman and put them right beside Dexter Lawrence?
No, like we said, they have BJ Hill, they have Chris Jenkins, they have a deep defensive line now. They have McKinley Jackson. No, here's what I would do.
Okay.
If you're trading back in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
this is who I would trade for. Max Iheanacho, offensive tackle, Arizona State.
Arizona State. Yep.
Because yeah, they could use an upgrade on the. I don't think it'll happen. I think he's going to go a lot higher than people think. Maybe a corner falls, but I think at 41 they could get a good corner. I don't think they're going to move it. I think 41 is a really good spot because there might not be much difference between 21 and 41. I think you can get a corner. You might be able to get another edge rusher. Um, who knows? Maybe even I don't know. I think they're going to roll with their linebackers from last year. They probably shouldn't, but maybe they can get an off-ball linebacker. Maybe I tell you what, love for them is Jacob Rodriguez, Texas Tech. They
Mm-hmm.
probably would have to move up. I would absolutely love that fit for them. He's just a playmaker. He's just an absolute stud. So, no, I don't think they should double down at all. I think they have other needs on defense, and yeah, I'd love for them to get another corner. And then
Okay.
you have DJ Turner and you have Dax Hill, and all of a sudden you've taken a weakness from a couple years ago and turned it into a strength. Those guys got to stay healthy. But Cam Taylor Britt left. They need to upgrade that because he wasn't very good.
No, he was not. Okay, so let's look at it more from the Giants' point of view for a few moments, Cheese.
Oh, well, real quick, let me ask you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this.
Mhm.
A couple of questions, Bengal questions. Do you think Joe Burrow pushed for this? Do you think Joe Burrow said, this is a unique player, and let's go? He went up to management and said, give up the 10th pick. We need help on the defensive line. Do you think Joe Burrow had any say in this? Because, and the reason I ask you this is he had a lot of say in getting Jamar Chase and T. Higgins signed to extensions.
So Joe Burrow, no, but I didn't get a chance to look this up because I worked last night, and then we decided we wanted to do this early this morning, which I really wanted to do this too. So I had limited time in between, but
Okay.
I was listening to some other stuff, other people's podcasts and stuff on the way home, as I'm sure most of you do, and I'm sure you do too, Cheese. As you read a lot of stuff, you listen to a lot of stuff. I guess BJ Hill has been putting out cryptic tweets for like a month. So
Did not know that.
yeah, I haven't got a chance to look at it. We'll have to do that here, and we encourage our people to do it as well. But I'll
Maybe
have
they
to look
do
at
double
his,
down on defensive tackle now.
Yes, I'll have to look at his. And again, they were teammates back in Clemson, I believe, is where they were.
Well, they got Jonathan Allen as well. They signed
Mhm.
him in free agency. He's going to start. Maybe BJ Hill's mad because he's not going to start now because they signed Jonathan Allen, the veteran. And I think that's great next to Dexter Lawrence because Jonathan Allen's much more of a pass rusher than run blocker.
Okay.
So you put those two guys there with Bowie Mafe on there. Hopefully Shamar Stewart takes the next step. Man, that could be a really good defensive line. I totally forgot about Jonathan Allen. Just occurred to me.
Yes, but I mean, okay, so let's say you have to. I mean, you're going to have to double team Lawrence, right? You don't have a choice, right?
Yes, you don't have a choice.
And you got to do it every play.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, so then doesn't that give a guy like Stewart the ability to get better because you can't block everybody if you're going to double team one guy, right?
Well, he needs to get stronger. His play strength was not good. He's got to learn some more pass rush moves. There were plays where he just took himself out of the play. He looked like a rookie. When he come in the draft, he was very raw. He needed a lot of work, but his workout was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tools to work with. And I still think we talked about this. I think they were taking Walter Nolan and he went the pick before and they had to scramble. I'm like,
yeah.
What do we do? They kind of got stuck. So they went with the high upside guy rather than take someone, they weren't taking Emeka Buku. They don't need receiver. They weren't taking Matthew Golden. So I think they just took the best talent on the board. But I think they really wanted Walter Nolan. But Stewart's got talent. Let's hope he develops. He's got to get stronger.
So then is that what they should do? Should the Bengals go after one of these edge rushers that can fall to them around that 40th pick or so? Just because, I mean, again, if you double team one guy, you've talked about this 2 or 3 times already. He changes what they're doing now. He changes how you go about this line. So put a average guy on the edge and make him a better guy because you're double teaming Lawrence?
Great question. So what the Bengals can do now, just thinking about it, there's so many things they can do. They can go after like a designated pass rusher, doesn't have to play on rundowns because they don't need any of these guys to play on rundowns. They can go after a Cassius Howe. He's got really short arms, but he was incredible for Texas A&M. They can go after Malachi Lawrence, Central Florida, probably go in the first round, probably have to trade back. player I really like. You'll see in my defensive rankings, I have him much higher than probably a lot of people. He's 40th on consensus board. Howell's
I'm looking
35.
forward to these defensive rankings. You're really
But
teasing us good.
and but how about this? In the third round, a player I
Mhm.
absolutely love. And if you watch the Utah game, you're like, he destroyed Caleb Lomu. Absolutely, who's going in the first round probably. And that's Romello Height, Texas Tech. He's 238 pounds, about 6'2", so he cannot play on rundowns, but he is incredible pass rusher. So maybe in the third round, they can get Romello Height. So you don't have to have an edge rusher 265, 270 that plays on the
Mhm.
rundowns. You can go after designated pass rushers with this group and just bring them in on passing down. So I'd love to see the Bengals get one of those edge rushers.
Interesting. And it is kind of neat how one player can flip everything like that.
Yep. Micah Parsons changed the whole Packers defense
Right.
like overnight.
All right.
But
Interesting.
they still have bad. They still, when he got hurt, the cornerbacks were garbage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we go to the Giants now? Are you okay to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So which is more important to get off of them through this trade? For them to get rid of? Is it more important for them to get rid of the player? More important for them to get rid of the distraction that the player would have caused? Or is it more important for them to get rid of the money they would have had to pay him?
Well, their salary cap situation wasn't great, so the money actually helps. But I just think if you're not going to pay him, if you're not going to win next year, which they're not, this coming year not, he wants out. You can't agree on a deal. Get what you can for him. Get what you can. If somebody's willing to give you the 10th pick, take it. So I think it was just the right time, and they didn't have to trade him. That gave him leverage. That's why they got the 10th pick. They could wait till after the draft, like the Cowboys and the Packers and Cowboys trade was before camp. They can wait and get future picks. They didn't have to trade him before the draft. Gave him leverage. So I didn't think they were like, we have to trade him. I think they waited to get the best deal. And if we get blown away, we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll wait and wait throughout the summer and wait to get blown away.
All right, Cheese, let me ask you this. Do you think the Giants will keep number 5 and number 10? Will they try to trade down and get more picks? What do you think they're thinking as far as those 2 picks in the first round?
Well, I think they're going to keep number 10 because no one wants the 10th pick, apparently. 5, I still think they could trade it. I'm thinking they're taking Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles there. I think one of them for sure will be there. They really need help on defense, even more so now with Lawrence. And I think they go receiver at 10, but I think they could trade 5. I still think unlikely. I still think they want to get blown away, but we know the Chiefs and Cowboys want to move up. So much more likely 5 gets traded than 10.
All right. Dexter Lawrence changes the line for the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you think that now that you've got 2 top 10 picks, does it change how you draft? In other words, maybe they'll take a chance on somebody at either 5 or 10 that has a little more upside, but is not the guaranteed guy. Do you think it'll change their mindset at all?
It's possible. That's not really how John Harbaugh drafts. The Ravens didn't. I guess Eric DeCosta made the picks, but the Ravens typically don't take big swings. They don't mind taking a player that's a non-premium position if he's the best player. They rarely go for like the high upside, like the Shamar Stewart type. So it just depends because from what I've read, Joe Shane lost a lot of power. Harbaugh makes the final call. We'll see. So I doubt it. I think they just take a defensive player at 5 and then take a wide receiver at 10. And there's a rumor Joe Shane met with Jordan Tyson at his workout and had dinner with him. And so Jordan Tyson might be the biggest winner of anybody here because he's one of those guys that I could see him going 6th. I could see him going like 26th or something, but everywhere in between just because the injuries, So I doubt it. I think they just sit there and just take the best player.
Okay. So you already kind of answered the 4th question that I had here. So I'm going to throw a little something at you that I don't have in the notes, and I hope you can answer it. You might not be able to, but I bet you can because you're one of the best draft analysts in the business, sir. So let me give you this. You've got the 5th pick. You got the 10th pick. Obviously, they're both top 10 picks. Does the money for a top 10 pick make a big difference as far as like if they pick number 10 or number 12 or number 15? Or, I mean, are they going to have to pay these 2 guys more because they're in the top 10 later?
Oh, definitely. Like where you pick matters for contract extensions. We saw Trayvon Walker get 4 years, $110 million. If he's a 3rd round pick, he doesn't get close to that. but he was #1 overall pick, I believe, in 2022. So yeah, where you get picked matters. If you're a first round pick, you just get paid more than third or fourth rounders, no doubt about it. But oh, I lost that. I had something. You actually made a good point. I was trying to. I totally lost what I was going to say.
You were so stunned that I made a good point that you were like,
no,
oh, wow.
You were saying like the Giants, who they would pick. They're not taking defensive tackle with those first 2 picks. It is probably the biggest need now on their team. It was a need before Dexter Lawrence. But look in the second round, there's a lot of good defensive tackles going on day 2. Look for them to really address the position on day 2 because they now have 3 of the top 37 picks. So pick 37. You mentioned those defensive tackles earlier. Look for them maybe to target one, maybe even move up for Cade McDaniel, something like that. Cade McDonald, excuse me. So I would not be surprised. I say 50-50 shot they take a defensive tackle with 37.
Okay. So I want to talk about one of our sponsors here real quick, Forward Fan. I know you are a big Atlanta Braves fan and you're a big Chicago Cubs fan. So pick one. Which one do you want to go to the World Series, Chiefs? Pick one.
Tie. They meet in the World Series.
Oh, stop it. They can't. They're both National League teams.
The Braves moved to the American League mid-season.
Okay.
I would
well, you know what? Let me give you both examples. How about that?
Yes.
All right. I won't make you choose. All right. So nobody throws things at you.
I'd be so happy with either one. And both have had really good weeks because they keep playing the Phillies. So that helps.
All right. So right now, the average cost of a World Series ticket is a little over $1,000, depending on what team it is, where it's going to be at. There's some factors and stuff like that, but it's between like $1,000 and $1,200. But if you go to forwardfan.com right now, that's just for one game, by the way. There's 7 of them. That's just for one game, up to 7.
Oh, and game 7 will be way more.
Right.
Yeah.
You could buy a ticket for $160 if you're the Cubs fan and want to see your Cubs go. And you could buy a ticket for $175 if you're the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
So not bad, right? As far as that part goes. Now,
that's way less than $1,000. That's a great deal.
Correct. Even if you get them and do something else with them.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say you're a Washington Nationals fan right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so sorry for you that I'm going to offer you this deal from forwardfan.com. If you're a Washington Nationals fan and you think that your team, the Washington Nationals, has a chance to go to the World Series, you can get a World Series ticket right now through fanforward.com. Are you ready?
Yes.
$5.
Wow.
Yes, you can take a chance.
You're saying there's a chance. Yeah.
You're saying and all of these teams have a chance. All of them do. Let me give you one more example. Let's see. Let's go to my team for a second. Cincinnati Reds, Arizona Diamondbacks are my 2 teams. You can buy a ticket for the Reds.
Playing well. Both playing well.
And they're both doing pretty darn good right at the moment. So I think it's a good mid-round type choice, right? So you can buy a ticket for the Reds for $50 right now. So if you think that the Cincinnati Reds have a chance to go to the World Series today, you can buy that ticket for $50. And you might be asking, well, guys, I mean, which game do I want to choose? Do I want to choose a home game, an away game? The choice is yours. Forward Fan will allow you to actually choose the game as well. So here's what you do. Our X account has a LinkedIn on it, and it's got just all kinds of stuff because we are adding things left and right. And on that link tree that you've got right there, you can click on it. And when everything drops down, the link where you can sign up for Forward Fans $100 free credit that they're given to our fans only is right there in that Linktree link. So go to our X at All Gloves Off SM, then click on the Linktree. It'll drop you down. Go to the Forward Fan part of it. Fill out those few questions, and that's it. There's no strings attached. There's no, you got to go jump through this hoop or you got to go do that, or no ice bucket challenges or anything like that, right? All you have to do is go to our spot, click on the link and fill it out. And that's it. And we appreciate
Such a good
Forward
deal.
Fan.
That's incredible. I'd love to ice bucket, Mike.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Well, you can make that happen too, I'm sure.
Yeah. If the Reds make the World Series, Mike agrees to ice bucket.
Oh,
Maybe
I'd
not.
do pretty much anything if the Reds would make it. So yeah,
Well, they win every close game. So in the playoffs, there's close games. So
yep.
apparently they're going to do well in the playoffs.
they're 10-0 on games decided by 2 runs or under right now.
That's crazy.
So we've gone over everything. We've looked at it from the Giants' perspective, Cheese. We've looked at it from the Bengals' perspective. So I think now we can answer this question.
Okay.
Which one is it? The Bengals gave up too much, the Giants gave up too much, or this was a great trade for both teams. Which one would you go with and why?
I think it's 50-50 right now. I'm torn. You know me, I love draft capital. So my immediate reaction was, oh, the Giants got a lot. But then I started looking at it. I saw Daniel Jeremiah's tweet, and I'm thinking, who are the Giants going to get? I mean, they're not going to get a player as good as Dexter Lawrence. I know he's 28. You have to pay him. But I go back to that Eagles trade. That's what I thought about. It's like they got way better. They got maybe the best player in the draft, A.J. Brown, even though he was a veteran, 18th, giving up the 18th pick. That was just much better. I love draft capital. I love what both teams did. I think it's 50-50. What do you think?
I'm not on your 50-50 bandwagon, especially as the Bengals fan. I've got, by the way, it's AJ Green. I have the AJ Green
I was going to guess
jersey on. Didn't go quite that far back.
DJ Husmanzada.
Yes. And I know I've got the hat with me for a change. I very rarely wear a hat on the show, but I think the Bengals gave up too much.
Okay.
I would be happier if they would have given up their second round pick, or if maybe they'd have given up the first round pick and then they had the Giants give up their 105th, which is the 5th pick in the 4th round. Something like that. I think the Bengals need a little more. That's a top 10 pick. As you said, you love draft capital. Top 10 pick is a big pick, and they're going to have 2 of them now. So,
but
I understand what they did.
Who would you get at 10? Like, looking at this draft, you're not getting a top 20 talent on most drafts at 10. That's why I'm torn. Like, my initial reaction was, I agree with you. Giants got the 10th pick, but then I started looking at it, and I'm just like, who they going to get? The Bengals are not taking Jordan Tyson. They're not taking a receiver, probably not taking tight end. They need defensive help, and there's no defensive player that they thought was worth that pick.
I understand that, but you have to remember, and you said it at the beginning, he wants to be the highest paid nose tackle out there.
Mm-hmm.
You've already got 2 of the highest paid players at receiver in the world. You've already got one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the world. How many of these guys can you get and collect that are the highest paid at their position, still be under the cap, and still be able to add people in free agency that you need to plug holes in with?
Well, it says here they're $60 million under the cap for next year. This is before the extension, of course. Okay. So they do have the cap room. They were in a better cap situation than most teams before this trade. Yeah, it's not good to have 4 or 5 guys taking up so much of your cap. I get it, but they did have the cap room, and they really still have some holes on defense. They need to hit on their second, third round picks. They need to get immediate starters with those picks.
Okay, so we'll agree to disagree. That's fine. I wish they'd have gotten a little more. I mean, I'm not upset about the trade. I'm not like, burning my jerseys or anything like that. But nobody would care if I'd burn the AJ Green jersey anyway. But
he was a good player.
He was a fantastic player. I loved him when he played. Let's see what William has to say here. Do you guys think the Giants will be any good this year with Harbs? That's Harbaugh as their coach. Hate to say it, but I think Harbs lists his fastball and needs a lot more than Jackson Dart to win in the NFL. List, I don't know what that means.
No, I don't think the Giants will be good. I don't think they were going to be good anyway with Dexter Lawrence. Without him, it's going to be tough. So the defense was awful with him last year. It's going to be awful again. I think they're going to, the offense could be better, especially if they get another receiver and Malik Neighbors stays healthy. But I think they're going to struggle to stop people. So
So
I'd be
lost, not
surprised.
missed.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they won. Even 7 games would be surprising to me. I don't think they're going to be very good. They just have too many holes. I just thought of something.
Yes.
When the Bengals went to the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
their defense is good, especially run defense. They had DJ Reader. They had a really good nose tackle. Remember DJ Reader?
Yes, I remember.
And they're thinking we haven't had a good nose tackle since he left.
And they
So
haven't.
changes the whole defense.
All right, interesting. Let me tease the show tonight a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got 4 questions that I'm going to ask all of our draft. Well, actually, I'm only going to ask 3 of our draft analysts tonight. Cheese is going to have to take a back seat because I'm going to ask our draft analysts that are our guests, Wayne, Greg, and Med. All of the I had to like keep wanting to call Med Meg all the time. I had to think about it for a second. All of those guys will be with us tonight. What time, Cheese?
8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
We're going to do a great draft special, the complete draft of the first round. Can't wait. And I've got 4 questions that I'm going to ask everybody but Cheese. And the reason why I'm not going to ask Cheese is because I'm going to ask him these same 4 questions on the Lights Out Sports podcast on Tuesday. So we'll get his reactions to them on Tuesday and everybody else's reactions tonight. Here are the questions.
Tuesday is 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Cheese. He knows I don't want to do time, so I mess him up all the time. So I'm going to ask, what team will move up? I think it'll be just a simple but yet interesting question. Who is your most underrated player? The player that is not going to go in the top 10 but should. The third one is, if you're a GM, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, do you do the best player on the board or do you go by the need of your team? That'll be an interesting topic for them to each kind of chew on for a moment. And then what affects your decision more? The talent that the player has, the good or bad they do off the field, and the bloodline that they come from. And we'll talk about those 4 questions tonight with our guest analysts. It will be Wayne, it'll be Gabe, and then it'll be Med. Can't wait to get those guys on tonight, get everybody going. It'll be a great show.
Wayne's going to pick like half the picks because he is AFCs, NFCs. So
I know.
He's going to make a lot of
poor guy. He'll be off screen a lot because he's going to.
He will.
That's how it'll work, right? So for those of you who didn't watch our first show, by the way, shame on you, but you can watch the one tonight. We'll have 5 minutes for the pick. The person making the pick will go off screen. They will actually text their pick to me so that only myself and they know the pick that's coming. The 5-minute timer will expire, and then we'll announce the pick just like they do on the podium during draft day this coming Thursday in Pittsburgh. And we've also got some stuff I'm going to plug here real quick. Cheese, I'll let you do yours in a second as well. The Sports Pulpit this week is going to be all about draft week. I've already got 2 things written. I'm going to have to rewrite it a little bit because I said who was going to take Jeremiah Love, and I thought maybe he would fall to 10, but that plan's kind of out the window now. So we'll look at who's going to take Jeremiah Love. We will look at the Rodgers riddle. Is Rodgers holding Pittsburgh hostage? Is that going to make a big difference on their draft day stuff? And we'll look at all of that. And then I'm also going to ask this question. Because the draft is in Pittsburgh, do they have to make a big splash? We'll talk about all 3 of those things on the Sports Pulpit this coming week. Cheese, what are you working on for the week coming, buddy?
So much draft stuff. Offensive rankings about to release, probably about an hour. Defensive rankings I'll record this afternoon. I'm going to do a 2-round mock tomorrow for Mock Draft Monday. So I have 2 videos tomorrow. I'm going to do top 100 list Tuesday. Going to do more team mocks throughout the week. And then Thursday, I am off of work. I will release my final mock Thursday around lunchtime, the day of the draft. And then Friday morning, I will do a 2nd round mock after the first round is over. I might go live or release a video after the draft. It's so late last year, but since the picks are now 8 minutes instead of 10, I might do a video reacting. We'll see. I don't know. Are you off Thursday night after the draft?
No,
you have to work. Okay. So I might react to it. Just a quick react, go over a few picks. We'll see. So it depends how tired I am. I get tired. I get grumpy. So sometimes, it's better just do it the next day.
Yeah, it depends on who the Packers pick.
Well, they're not going to pick in the first round.
Oh, that's right. They can't even pick Caleb and make you upset. Yes.
They can pick him in the second round and make me upset.
All right, we'll see if that happens. Anything you want to add to the end here? We're right at an hour, and that's about where I wanted to try to keep it at, buddy.
No, I'll just say this. You said a big splash with the draft. The Packers took a receiver in the first round last year, they hosted the draft, hadn't done it in 23 years. The Steelers have not done it in 20 years. So maybe they do the same thing and go receiver, maybe Casey Concepcion, who knows? They could use a receiver that's good at yards after catch. So maybe they do that as well. Who knows?
Last thing. Tonight, there's going to be a surprise that Cheese doesn't even know about. It's coming. And all I'm going to tell you is you'll see some exploratory tweets here between now and our show. But the countdown to number 1 is on.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for being with us on our Bengals breakfast as we talked about the trade. Tonight, we'll go through all kinds of stuff, but there won't be any trades tonight. We're just going to do straight picks. Cheese and all the other guys that'll be with us. Can't wait for that show. It will be fantastic. And I don't have to do any picks. All I have to do is host.
Yes. And I get a pick for Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, great. I forgot about that. Great. Gonna get Caleb.
No, it's easy. I just have to go 2 names. Fernando Mendoza, I hope, who's picking for the Raiders, picks in 1. I just have to write down 2 names and pick the best, one of those 2 guys. So we'll see.
All right.
I think you'll like it. I think you like who I'll pick.
So are you telling me that you already know who you're going to pick?
I already, one of 2 people. I have 2 names written down.
All right.
That's what, yeah. So that one's going to be the easy one. The harder ones as it goes, like the Steelers at 21. I don't know who's going to be there. Browns at 24. I have the Seahawks at 32. I have no, I don't know who's going to be there. So those are a little harder.
All right. So Nerd Kadia Stands is Med's X. You can go follow him. You can go to Wayne's at Wayne_Gregory. And then our other guest draft analyst that will be with us tonight is a new guy. He's going to come on for the very first time, Clint Goss. And his X account is NFL Draft Dome. So be sure to get those guys follow as well. Join us tonight. And as we say at the end of every single show. Oh, wait, we have a comment. Let me see if it's, oh, yes, of course. Thank you, William. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Make sure we got everything on there.
William is a Steelers fan. So William, yeah. Join the show tonight. Let me know who you want me to pick when they're on the clock.
Well, William, more than anything, I want to know, we'll talk about it tonight. Do you think the Steelers need to make a big splash? And then when I record the Sports Pulpit video, I would like to have your reaction too. So I already think I know, but we'll see what happens and what everybody else thinks. So I will be curious to see your answer later on tonight. At what time, Cheese?
It's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific tonight.
All right. So once again, we appreciate all of you for coming on with us. Thank you very much. And as we always say at the end, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good afternoon, everyone. Or maybe it's still good morning.
Still morning unless you're on the East Coast. Yeah.
All right.